That helps a little bit. Anything open? Not seeing anything on the bookshelf, at least not initially. These albums? Holy shit, man. Wow. Oh, alright. Little clipping there. Who we got here? We got the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Brubeck. My bad. Textbook. World history. Put that back. Folder. The Reproductive System Worksheet 6 by Samantha Greenbrier, turned in 9/9 of 94. The directions below are 2 stories. The events are all out of order. Get a sheet of lined paper, write Reproductive System Worksheet number 6 at the top. Then choose one of the 2 stories. Apparently they need to specify either A or B. And rewrite it. Begin with the title and your name. Find a topic sentence to begin your paragraph. Put the sentence in chronological order. Make sure the last sentence is a good concluding statement. A. The menstrual cycle. It travels through the fallopian tube. The ovary releases the ovum. About 2 weeks later, since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. If the egg doesn't meet a sperm, it dissolves. While the ovum is developing, the lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. An ovum starts to develop. Okay. Or B. I am produced in the testicles. I go from the vas deferens to the urethra. The life of a sperm cell. I go through the cervix and the uterus and into the fallopian tubes in search of an egg cell. I develop for 2 or 3 months in the epididymis. When the penis becomes erect, I leave the epididymis and travel up into the body through the vas deferens. As I pass the prostate gland, the seminal vesicles, and the Cowper's glands, fluids are added so I can live longer and swim more easily. Without me, an egg cell couldn't begin the amazing process of reproduction. The urethra carries me, along with about 200 million other sperm, out of the penis in a process called ejaculation. Yeah. If I can find the ovum before the other sperm do, I will be the winner, part of a fertilized egg. Why is B a story while A just is very matter of fact? This is, there was no I am an egg, but yet I am a sperm. Let's see what Samantha wrote. Samantha Greenbrier, Period 4 Health Class, Mrs. Myers. Reproductive System Worksheet 6. She can probably... Wait, what is that? What was that? Something was scratching. Huh. Alright. Back to reading what she wrote. It looks like she chose to go with The Menstrual Cycle, a novella. The early morning of September 1st, 1937, Essa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Willem, Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to, wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. Elsa's train approaches its destination. Her heart races. The lining of her uterus is getting thick and soft. Okay. Essa steps off the train. Her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there! Her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. I like how she's just throwing these into her story. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs, reaches out toward her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes look, and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. Jesus Christ. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa and, for a time, Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind, his legs are missing, bandaged with a torn bedsheet. Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. She went dark. Alright. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. Apparently the teacher was not pleased with this, as she wrote "See me" in red on the bottom of the page. All in all, not a bad little story for the assignment. I would have been okay with that if I was her teacher. We get more Dr. Jitters. Alright. No, turn that back on. I want to look at the coaster. As again, we have a can sitting on a table next to a coaster, but not on the coaster. You know what? Can I fix that? Well, now it's on the floor. Oh well, close enough. Ah, look at this. Look at it. That's, come on, guys. Get out of here. That's ridiculous. Look, coaster. Coaster, right there. Rings, right there. Coaster. Rings. Unnecessary. What do we got? Oh, that didn't need to do that. Alright. More records, or albums, sorry. Oh, good lord, there's more on this side. Holy shit. I kind of wish I could pull them out and look at them, but then we'd be playing this literally all day. Somebody's drinking shots of, I guess, Dr. Jitters. And oh, we got a new one. What is this? Oh, no, there's some liquor. Orange soda. Alright, you get really creative talent. Alright, what do we got here? Irish whiskey, distilled in Ireland, number 9, 79% corn neutral spirits, and 20% barley. We're gonna sit. Oh, never mind. We're gonna sit you down there. Oh, Dad's second book. What do we read this time? The Accidental Pariah. He is really obsessed with JFK, apparently. A message from our future saved the president's life once. Wait, what? So he writes fiction. But within the next 24 hours, there'll be another attempt, and the lines of communications are down. A James Bond for today's audience, and a compelling thriller worth its salt. Okay. Whatever. Alright, Donald Phipps, publisher of Mercury Books. This is from March 8th, 1976, right before I was born. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that, unfortunately, Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on, in quotation marks. They apparently are not happy. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working with you as a publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Donald Phipps of Mercury Books, Inc. Well, so he was a failed writer. That's always nice to learn about your father. And they have shitty taste in art. Alright, let's pull the string. More albums. And what the fuck is that? There's a letter in there. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave him permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. Don't hurry. That was a definite creep.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
That was a creepy creep just a minute ago. I don't know if y'all heard that or not. Alright, yeah, she's gonna regret that less time with the games, because clearly people are very successful doing that nowadays. Alright, let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house to visit anytime. Sincerely, Mary Shoots. Oh, wow. I understand what that thump was. Can I open this box? Yes, I can. More books. Good lord. Okay. Moving on. There was really nothing in this room. I really wish I knew what that creek was. Alright, let's check on top. Bunch of coupons. Okay, yeah. Lip balm. What do we got? Lip stuff. More tissues. They left something. Oh, another note. Alright. Katie, please tell Mom and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Sam. Anything else? Nope. What was it? So missing stuff. Can I... They're rolling. Alright. Why can't I put anything in my backpack? I totally will. Anything in here? Doesn't appear to be. Bottom drawer. Another note. Alright, let's see what we got. Hi, Lonnie. So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I could drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6. Samantha. Yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. Then I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready. L. And looks like he's shooting a Hiruken at her. Alright, so...
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie.
I don't understand the psycho house thing.
She's coming over tomorrow.
And what's with all the chicks with the guys' names in this game? I get it, Lonnie, Sam, they're kind of ambiguous, but... Katie, please, whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad. The attic. Alright, our first real clue. So clearly there's something in the attic. That's locked. Can I use my key? 1. That's right. I can't do anything with it. Okay, so we're gonna figure that out later. Remember, there's a locked door. Alright, let's see. I thought I opened that. I guess I didn't because the lights are not on. He's got one of those maker lights. I always like those for some stupid reason. I don't know why. Something about this room I don't like. Why is there a bottle of whiskey on top of the bookshelf? Guys, come on. That's not gonna do much. Alright. Anything down here? No. Any letters? Another door. Oh, alright, here we go. No form. Electrical inspection for the house, it looks like. Does entire electric need code? Yes. Are there deficiencies which need correcting? It is unclear. Wiring in the house is technically up to safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring that have been added into structure over the last 100 years. So the system is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive to the walls, floors, and fixtures of the structure. After discussion with Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, issues will not be addressed. So, that, I guess, is the explanation for the flickering lights. Let's see, anything down here? Not really. Over here? Not really. What? Okay, let's finish this room before we go. So this takes a combination of how many 4 numbers. I don't think we've gotten that yet. Nothing in those two. More, and the art's better than the other art. Still not great. What do we got here? Crumpled pages. John Russell opened his eyes and saw them, the stars, twinkling as if he were laying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts, even though that place was a million miles away. Really? No, he blinked with the sleep from his eyes, looking through the carbon-reinforced safety glass of the space station Archimedes. Oh, it might have been a million miles away if he's in space. Yes, he was a long way from home, but the future needed him. John Russell's head swam. He felt incredibly drunk, despite not having touched a drop in hours. He vomited onto his feet. Interesting way to get to your feet. His bare feet. He stared for a moment. Misspelled process, apparently. Processing his sick-flecked toenails. Ew, he cheeked on his own feet. Scanning up his bare shins, bare knees, he was completely naked. He looked up and met the eyes of a gorgeous blonde woman wearing a tight polymer fiber tunic. The fabric that's drained at the seams to contain her generous bosom was emblazoned with the phrase, "Matter Transference Operator." Then he passed out. She had big boobs. Okay. John Russell crossed the gap in time. Only messages had passed before, but now a man had needed him. Now more than ever, changing the past was no longer good enough. The instructions form, the council had been clear what to procure, what to construct from it, how to assemble it. So he made the machine, how to transport him bodily across time, and now he stood there on the bridge of the starship Archimedes, command of the vessel, because only he, who had saved the president's life twice before, could helm the naive crew to their destiny, the fate of the galaxy. He was not a good writer. Let's face it. There's a reason his shit didn't sell. Anything in the 3-ring binder? No, not really. Alright, can close the door. Sorry, Dad. Oh god, there's more. Alright. Pioneer, oh good, it's reviewing the audio system. Pioneer CLD D703, combination laserdisc compact disc player. Alright. It was $1,000. Come on, guys. CU CLD098, remote with backlit, double-sided play, headphone out, display on-off, jog shuttle dial, front end remote, digital CLV, slow motion freeze frame, last frame memory, 2 S-video outs, coax, optical outs, twin 1-bit DA converters, SN ratio 116 decibel, CD playback 422 by 140 by 432 WHD. They say that a jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market for a combination LD-CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular... Something must have stopped him at this point. Yeah, there weren't many people in the market in 1994 for a Laserdisc CD player, I can assure you. Let's see. You can do better. JFK, USSR coalition, Chinese, Japanese, Lebanese, early space flight to utopia, advanced technology, and World War II, early time stream to difference. Back to basics, sent back in time to Dallas, 1963. Again, state of emergency in Dallas, cancels motorcade, JFK poisoned, kidnapped, injured. He didn't like those apparently. Intercept, wow. LHO in USSR, LMO, LHO killed in Marines. Why not disrupt motorcade minutes before LHO can fire? Okay. And he really needs to get off the JFK stuff. I mean, it's an interesting scenario and we still don't know what happened. But what is this book? Benjamin Allman, The Killing of JFK, A Theory. You've seen the movie Discover the Truth. Superb work of speculation, plotted with amazing skill and showing a level of magnetic artistry. Magnetic artistry? Not usually present in such academic pieces. A thrilling theory. I couldn't put this book down. It's an important new look at the circumstances surrounding one of the greatest tragedies of all time. More JFK. Have you guys seen any codes anywhere to get me into this? Let's try 1963. That didn't work. Those are all 3 digits. That's not anything on here. There's nothing on the doors, right? Yeah, some kind of stupid password to your, just a binder to your lock cabinet in one of the drawers next to the cabinet. Okay, let's see what's in the front of the door. More books. More books. A lot more books. This guy has a lot of books. We can do the rain again. That's something glitching through. Fresh magazine. I was a teenage drag queen. Alright, damn it. Please tell us about their worst moments. 90210, does anybody still care? No, they do. The male gaze, how to subvert it. Sarah Holst, not gathering mops. Hey, another coaster that nobody uses. The accidental patriarch, villain, ambassador, messiah, the occasional unreliable. The unreliable is going to Saber the hero, the mountain, down, coming out. The accidental prophet, the accidental prophet, the unreal prophet. Yeah. Maybe a different subject matter would have helped him a little bit. More of his books that didn't sell. I don't know about you, but that would seem kind of dreary to keep my failed books around. I don't think I would want that. What is this? A Stranger Under My Roof. #1 best-selling advice for parents of teens. There's no point in reading. You're never going to understand them. The teen years are fraught with change of all types, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, but these changes don't just affect your teen. Your teen's turbulent years are a challenge for parents as well. Maybe the biggest challenge you yet faced since having children. No, it's not. This book holds insight into your teen's behavior from the very beginning, as he or she first enters adolescence, up through the end of the teen years, as he or she enters young adulthood. The practical strategies here are based upon well-tested principles of pediatric psychology presented by Dr. Elisa Medina, herself a mother of 2 teenagers, prepare to gain new tools for establishing a productive, healthy, and loving dialogue with a stranger. I've never had such a good conversation with my daughter. You don't need a book to do that, for the record. These simple tools can make all the difference to a relationship with your child. I guess some people might need help communicating with their kids. Honestly, if you talk and listen and be open, it all works out. Like, hey, 0451, let's go try that. That's his book, sorry. 0451. 0451. Speed. Attorneys, all right, please find the enclosed your original document and a typed copy for our records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Attorney at law. I, Oscar Masson, possessing full comprehensive mind and memory, and after a full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. I declare that I am a lifelong resident of Benton County, that I am unmarried and have no children. Oh, it's the guy that passed. All right. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name to any creditors, living or dead. Okay. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres. I keep hearing weird sounds. It sounds like thunder, but it sounds like it masks something. Weird. Alright. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as any and all personal property and moneyed accounts to my nephew, Terrence L. Greenbrier Jr. of Ellis County. Sorry, I keep hearing things. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbrier Jr. should predecease me, then, and in such event, the bequest to him shall fall to the same is bequeathed to his children as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribed my name to this will this 13th day of August, 1973. Okay, and that's the same thing, handwritten, looks like. Yeah, alright, cool. He had shitty handwriting, not that I can say much. Okay, so that didn't really help us out as much as I was hoping it would. Just a plug on there? Okay. Just a plug. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non sequiturs from your usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of Home Theater Aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. Okay. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time, and he's the boss, so I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. Brent Kirkwood. Brent actually sounds like a reasonable guy. I probably would have fired his ass, too. Alright, anything else in here? Okay, this room appears to be complete. So far, nothing really interesting is going on. A really shitty, slow fan, a kind of cool desk lamp, and we've learned that my dad's a shit writer. Ooh. Alright. Alright, we've already done all that. Let's go back this way. We've done that. We'll finish downstairs before we go up. Yeah, I looked at that. We checked out the bathroom. Let's check out the corner over here. Hey, nice. Made in Mexico! Nothing. Hey, old track trophy. What did I do? Regional Track and Field Finals, 1991, girls long jump event. First place. Hey, I can jump. What is this one? First place for girls 100-meter relay. And I'm a team player too. Cool. Alright. Well, I'm athletic, at least. Nothing. Need some lights. Okay, again. Directories. Damn it. I guess I can't open that one. Nothing up here? Nothing up there. Sorry, nose itched. Alright. Forestry Service, that's right. Mom worked for the forestry. Fulton Hall, nothing. Oh, what is this? Over the Alps, a novel traveling game. Looks fairly old. That's it. Here, nothing in this closet. There's nothing in that closet. Excuse me for a second, guys. I'm getting some texts so we can see what's going on. Alright. Let's move forward here. I never liked these floorboard systems like this. They just seem very